All right, so let's get started by, let me know if you can see my screen that I'm sharing.
I can.
Okay.
I haven't see our computer screen as yet.
Yep. All right, so we have three main objectives today. The first one is to make sure that everybody has access, that everybody can log in to the platform. We have two different types of access. One of them is the instructor access, which is the one that you have. The other is the student access. So once we are sure that everybody can log in, we're going to start exploring what we call the learning path. The learning path is basically all the content that includes the ebook and the activities related to this course. Now, this course it's going to be based on the book that you see on the right called Student Success in College, Doing What Works, the second edition by Christine Harrington. So,
yes. I'm sorry, I'm seeing your photo, but I'm not seeing your screen.
You're not seeing, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were, hang on. Let me know if you can see it now.
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay, perfect. So the book on the right, that's the book that the platform is based on, which means that inside what we call the learning path, that is inside the platform, you're going to find the ebook and you're going to find all the activities related to this book, Student Success in College. So we're going to start by exploring what the learning path is and where everything is. Then I'm going to show you how to hide content, because even though that everybody has an exact replica or an exact copy of the course that was designed by Dr. Curtis, you are all able to personalize it. So you can edit a few things, like you can hide some of the content that you're not going to use. I'm also going to show you how to add additional content that you want to include. And I'm going to show you how to set dates. The dates have already been set, but you might need to adapt them, and or you might need to change them according to your, well, to your group, to your course. And last but not least, I'm going to show you how the students will register into your course so that they can have access to the material. All right? So if throughout this presentation you have any questions, please feel free to let me know, and we can go back or repeat, or I can be more thorough in whatever you guys need. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's get started with the following, with the login information. So in order to log in, what we're going to do is we're going to open a browser, any browser, and the website that we're going to log into is login. I'm going to type it in the chat box, .cengage.com. I'm going to go there. login.cengage.com. And this is the screen you should be looking at. Right. Now, let me just make sure I have all of your passwords here. Okay, so let me know if you were able to reach that that page. Everyone's there?
Oh, so we're logging in as well?
Yes, I want to make sure that everybody can log in.
Okay.
So you guys are set after this.
So how do we know what our password is?
I'll tell you what your password is. Yes, I'm looking into that. So I'm going to give you your password. Okay. So for Ditra, your password, well, your username is your email, the one you typed in the chat box, and your password is welcome1 with a capital W. That's Ditra's password. Let me check Kimberly's. Probably going to be the same. Oh, and we have Philippa here as well. Good morning, Philippa. If you can help us by typing in your email address in the chat box, we're making sure that everybody has access. So for Kimberly, your password's the same. Welcome1 with a capital W. We're going to be able to change that afterwards. But for now, everyone will have the same one. And Philippa, your email is philippa.moss, right? At UB. Yes, thank you. And I'm going to give you the same password as well. You're going to be able to log in with the password welcome1, capital W. The link is login.cengage.com. It's in the chat box. So does everybody have their password ready? Type in your email, type in your password, welcome1, capital W, and click sign in. Let me know if you have any trouble signing in.
Okay, I'm in.
You're in. Okay, good. What I think is that I still don't have your course set up for Deetra, Bethel. So I'm going to set up your course right now so that everybody is on the same page and we're all ready. UB.edu. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, 4, 5, 12, 2019. Good. That's right. We're going to use the UB email for the login. All right. So now everybody should have in their account their course created. I'm going to show you what it should look like. So I'm going to log into another instructor's account and we're going to see the same as you guys are supposed to see. Oh, yes. For logging in, you are going to use your UB email. Yes.
Now, that was not my UB email that I initially gave you.
It was not? Oh. Oh, that's right. You gave me a Gmail. Okay, so yeah, but you're going to use the UB. Let me know if it works.
I placed it in there too. The UB email is there as well. So should I log out and log?
Yes. Log in with your UB email, please. And let me know if once you're in there, you should see something like what I'm showing you. Is that right? Is everybody on the same page?
Well, I logged out and logging back in now.
Okay. Oh, right. Hang on. Okay.
Me? Are you talking to Deetra?
Yes, hang on. Yeah, it says invalid? Or who says, it says, I didn't get that, saying invalid for me. Who says invalid? It's for Kim. Okay, hang on. Your email, here it is. The password says it's invalid. Kim? I'm asking. Okay, I just said it again. Can you try one more time for me? And for the case of, it's asking me to select my institution, Philippa. Okay, I'm gonna do that for you. So, did it work, Kim? Yes, the W in welcome should be capped. Okay, good. All right, let me select the institution for Philippa.
You gotta pull up a chair. Okay. Get my now.
There it is. So can you log out and log in again, Philippa, please? Okay, so Kim is in. Also, okay.
How do I keep the two of these screens? I'm in as well.
Okay. Who said that?
That's Deetra.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. So let's see. This is very important because having a login is the first thing we all should be able to do. So it takes us a few minutes, but it's important that everybody is set. Okay, great. So is everybody in now? No, okay. Okay, are you seeing, it's still asking for institution. Okay. Do you think you could share your screen, Philippa, so I can see what you're looking at? I'm going to stop sharing. And if you can share your screen, on the lower part of the Zoom, there's a green button that says share screen.
Green button on Zoom. Click share screen. What am I sharing? Oh, come on then.
Still not looking at it? Okay, hang on. Okay, there it is. Okay. All right. So go to select a location and go to Caribbean. There it is. Institution type is higher education. And select the country. And Nassau, yes, it's the first one, the Nassau one. And search. And yours is the one called University of the Bahamas, because there's one that doesn't say the. It's the second one, University of the Bahamas. Yes, that one. And continue. Okay. And just fill in your account information, your first name, your last name, your email. You can type in your own password. Okay. Okay. All right. So just fill in that for us and you're set. Should be set. Once you're done with that, you should be seeing the screen similar to this one.
Okay. I guess Philippa couldn't get on.
Okay. Let us know once that's done, Philippa, so we can continue. All right, are we set? Okay, so are you seeing something like this? Okay, department, or is like the faculty or the department where you work at? If it doesn't have a red star, you don't have to fill that in.
So what? I don't understand. She said.
All right. So for the next things we're going to look at, you don't have to follow me by doing it on your computer. You can just focus on the explanation. I'm going to send you the video for the explanation, and you can try this later on, okay? However, if there's something that is unclear, just let me know, and I'm going to give you my information, my email, so that you can reach out to me if you have any specific. Alrighty. So whenever you want to log in to the platform, whether to look at the ebook or to look at the students, what they've been doing, what they've been working on, you're going to do the same. You're going to do login.cengage.com. You're going to type in your UB address, your email address, and the password welcome1. Once you're in there, you can change your password if you want to. You can type in a new password. That can be changed on the upper right corner where it says My Account. You can set your own password if you want to change it, okay? Students, we're going to see that at the end of today's session, but students are also going to use the same login.cengage.com website in order to log in and in order to see what the content is, to see the ebook, to answer the activities, and to work on them, right? Okay. Philippa, are you set with your account? Yes, excellent. All right, so let's get started with our second objective, which is to look at the learning path. In other words, to look at the platform. So inside of your account, you should be looking at your book right there, Student Success in College. And underneath that cover page, you should see several options called Manage Courses, Create Course, Masters, and Sections. You don't need to worry about that because your course has already been created. Now, but I do need to know if you are going to be teaching more than one section of the course. You already have that information? Or are you teaching only one section? Okay, so for whoever's teaching only one section, you don't need to worry, or whoever's teaching two, that was, because I don't see names, I only see DD, two part two. That was
Deetra.
Okay, Deidre, thank you. Okay, so Deidre, you're teaching how many sections?
2.
Okay. Do you have the numbers?
I do not. I know it's Wednesday and Thursday, I think. I don't have the numbers. I can get them real quickly if I need to.
Okay. Okay, you don't need to get them right now. You can give them to me later on. I'm going to create a copy so you have 2. You're going to be able to have 2 rosters and the same thing on both, but you'll be able to differentiate your 2 sections. You don't need to worry about that right now. You can give that to me afterwards. Okay, so underneath all these options, you have what is called course masters and sections. And you should see a course called First Year Seminar for Fall 2019 and your name there. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So that's your course, and it's an exact copy of Dr. Curtis's course. Okay? So in order to go in there, you're going to click on it. A new tab will open with the course. The first time we open it, going to see a few pop-ups that you can close, like this one, the guided setup. You can skip it or you can follow it if you want to. It'll also give you, I'm going to skip it right now. So I'm going to give you the tour myself. Then it'll show you a couple more pop-ups, only the first time you open it. The next ones, you're not going to see them, like the information of your course. Close this. A tour, do you want to take it or skip it?
I didn't miss all this doing shit.
And there we are. Okay? So what you're looking at the screen right now, this is Mindtap. This is the platform. Okay? I'm going to explain it part by part so you know where everything is, where you can find everything. Okay? You don't need to worry about the design of the course. That's already been done. So basically, we're going to focus on you knowing what you have available and how to hide some of the resources and how to add extra resources. What you see on the screen is the same thing that students are going to see. The difference is that USD. Yep. Okay. Yep. All right, so there we are. Yes, you're in the first year seminar, the fall page, exactly. If you click on that, a new tab will open with the Mindtap course. All right, so what you see and what students see is going to be the same. If you don't need to follow me in every click that we do right now. If you want to, you can do so. If not, you can just pay attention and try this later on, however you feel more comfortable. All right, so this platform is composed of 3 main areas. The first area on your screen is the one on the left. This is what we call the learning path, and there you're going to find the ebook, the activities, and other additional resources. The second area is the one here in the middle on the right, and that is the gradebook. Okay, so in the gradebook, what you're going to see is the progress of your students. So everything your students do, the activities that they answer, their grades are going to appear here on the right. That way you can follow up on what they're doing.
Lucy?
Yep.
Your screen is not moving, so I'm not following where you're at.
Okay, no, I haven't clicked on anything. I'm only going through the general screen for Mindtap.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't really moved.
Again, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I haven't really moved yet. And on the far right, you see a lot of icons.
Oh, yes.
Those are apps, okay? All of those apps are going to enrich the experience. Like, for instance, you have an app for a dictionary. You have an app for flashcards. Everything you underline or highlight or notes you add on the ebook are going to be saved on an app called Study Hub right there. So you can access your highlights and your notes quickly. All right.
Okay, so where's the grade book? I'm sorry.
The grade book is this area on the right, this white area.
Okay, recent activities score.
It's blank right now, but it'll be filling up as students start working.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with knowing what we have available. On the left side, this is the learning path. So this has already been set up according to your weeks and according to the calendar of UB. And it starts with the provost welcome. This is an audio that was recorded by the provost. This you can share with your students. You can project it on the screen in your first day of class. You can ask them to do it at home. So if you can just click on it and it'll open up the video. Well, it's really an audio, not a video, but it's on YouTube. Okay, you can make this a full screen because this is YouTube. There it is. And it's important that you can show it in class, or you can ask your students to do it at home. So that's the first thing you have on your learning path. After that, you have the syllabus. Okay, and the syllabus is the document, the Word document that contains all the information for the syllabus. Your students also have this available there. You can download it, you can print it. Okay, this is the latest version that was sent to me by Dr. Curtis. You can download it. You can make also a full screen with all the information of the course. Okay, so that's the second thing you have available.
I do have a question. I'm sorry.
Yep.
If I want to adjust the syllabus, how would I do that?
Okay, if you need to adjust the document, then you can download the document, edit that document, and then we'd have to upload the new version.
So I have to send it to you to upload?
I'm going to show you how to add documents, but if you need help, I can help you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, then there's an activity. As you can see, these gray icons on the left kind of tell you what everything is. So if it's a video or an image, you'll see this icon. If it's a document, this icon. If it's an activity, that is, if it's something that students have to do and hand in, then you're going to see this other icon with the pencil there. If it's the book, you're going to see the ebook, and so on. Right. So there's this activity. As you can see, this is a practice activity, so it's not going to impact grade, but it's a getting started activity so that students get familiar with the types of things and the types of resources they're going to find in Mindtap. So we do recommend that they do it, even if it doesn't impact their grade. You can recommend they do it. And as you can see, it already has dates set. It'll unlock on August 18th, and it is due on August 23rd. That is on the first week of class. I'll show you afterwards how to edit these dates, okay? Then there's a reading. There's another practice activity. Then there are several activities that are going to be done during the semester. Like, for example, there's the UB scavenger hunt, and I'm sure that Dr. Curtis is going to explain all of these activities in another, in maybe a different meeting or a different time, and you will know more about the details of these activities, because these are things you're not going to do in the platform. These are things you're going to do outside of the platform, and then they're here so that you know you have them. But you don't need to, students don't have to do anything in here, okay? Like also for the service engagement, the community service engagement and the enrichment seminar, those are things you'll do outside of the platform, but they're still here so that you know you have to do them. Then there's a folder called journals or reflection topics. This folder also contains 2 different topics proposed by Dr. Curtis. Again, these are activities that are not in the platform. You're going to do them outside. but they're here for reference, only as reference. But as you can see, these do count towards grade. Okay, all of these activities that have these orange dot, these activities do count towards grade. They're part of the syllabus. Therefore, it's important that you do them, even though they're outside of Mindtap. Okay, are there any questions up to here? Okay, are we good?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. And after these first few resources, you're going to find all the chapters of the book. Chapters 1 through 7. Now, what are you going to find inside of the chapters? The structure for all of them is the same. I'm going to open, let's say, chapter 1. And what's in there? You're going to find, first of all, the learning outcomes. Okay. And then the chapter itself, the reading. So if you want to go to the reading, you or the students, because remember, students are going to see the same. You can just click on it and it'll open up on the same screen. And you'll see the book itself. Now, it's the same content that you'd find on the print book, except that this is hyperlinked and it's easier to navigate. You can personalize it. You can work on it by highlighting, etc. Okay. So how do you navigate the ebook? You can either click on the subtitle on the section you want to go to, or you can use these arrows on the right and left to move forwards and backwards. Now, another nice thing about the ebook is that you have embedded videos and embedded practice questions. So this makes it a lot more interactive than a print book. You can ask your students to read for homework, or maybe they'll be doing that in the class. These are decisions you'll be making to personalize your course. Okay, so you have several videos. You can see you can also underline a few things. So if it's something important that you want to let your students know that it's important, you can select the phrase and you can highlight it in different colors. Now, there's an important difference here. If you highlight it in any one of these 4 colors, that is yellow, it's kind of pink, blue, or green, those are personal highlights. Your students won't see them. But if you choose to highlight in orange, the one that contains the arrow, that means that students will also see that highlight when they open their ebook. That way you let your students know that that information is important for them. Okay? Same goes for notes. If you want to add a note, that something is important, click Add Note. Say, this comes on the test. And you have the option to share it, so make it public so your students can see that post-it note, or make it a personal note. Click on Save, and then you'll have a post-it there. I'm going to remove it afterwards, but there it is. Okay. You also have, for the book, an audio. So there's a read speaker for students that are maybe visually impaired, or simply if they're walking, or if maybe, I don't know, driving or on a bus, they can also listen to the audio of the text of the book instead of reading it by clicking on this icon at the top. That's how we turn it on. And you'll be listening and seeing the highlighted words that are being read aloud. Okay. Any questions of the ebook so far?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, so again, you can use these arrows to move up, forwards and backwards. You can underline and you can add notes. And the book is embedded with also these types of activities called time for action. These are practice activities. They're suggested, but they're not going to impact the grade. Loading there. These are mostly open-ended questions. You might want to do them as part of the class, maybe as a discussion. Maybe you might want your students to do them at home and discuss them on the next class when you gather again. So these are mostly open-ended and they are related to what they read before. So they are embedded inside the textbook. Okay. All right. So in order to close the book and go back to the learning path, I'm going to click here, close it, and we're back. So again, each of the chapters contains the learning outcomes, the chapter itself, and what we call an online conversation. What is an online conversation? Those are activities that are like forums. So this is an essay type question that a student needs to answer. So this one does count towards grade, as you can see. And what are they about, or how do they look? All right, so you click on that to see it. And there are 4 different questions. Now, you can either have your students do all 4, or maybe you as teachers decide, I only want them to answer 1 or 2, okay? And I'll show you how to edit that. So each of these questions is an essay type question. So it's after reading through the section and becoming a critical thinker, identify 2 ways you can engage in this process. As you read the responses, support them by adding another strategy. So your students need to answer there, send it, and since this is an open-ended question, this has to be graded by the teacher. This is not automatically graded, so you'd have to go and read your students' responses and assign a grade. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. Just every chapter is the same. You have the reading and the online conversations. Reading and online conversations. Okay, and after all the chapters, you have participation and attendance. That's obviously something that is done outside of the platform, but we have it there for reference. And we also have the research paper. And the research paper will also be done outside of the platform. So basically, what we use the platform for is for the readings of the ebook, for answering the essay questions, and for interacting with them. Okay. Are there any questions up to here?
No.
No? All right. I'm sure there will be once you get started working with the platform. I'm sure there will be questions, and I'm happy to help you out. Okay? All right, so we've navigated on what is available. Now, how do we edit this? How do we make it our own and personalize it? All right, first of all, if there's something that you need to hide, okay, or if there's something that you need to add, or if there's any dates that you need to change, you need to make sure that the edit button at the top is turned on. Otherwise, you won't be able to do any changes. Once you turn it on, you will be able to edit a lot of things. Okay. So what kinds of things can we edit? First of all, we can hide some of these resources. How do we hide them? First, you need to select what you want to hide. So let's say I don't want them to do this activity or this activity. I'm going to select them. Then I'm going to go down here to batch actions and click on hide selected. This does not delete them. This simply hides them. So I can get them back if I need to. Okay, so that's the first thing we can edit. The second thing is the dates. How do we edit dates? So these dates have already been set. However, you might need to alter them a little. So for example, let's say this online conversation, this is due on September 13th. Maybe I need to give them an extension. So what I do is, again, I select it. I click on batch actions and click on edit dates. So there are two dates. One of them is the available date. That is when does the activity open or becomes available for the students? And the due date. When does it close, or when is the last moment when they can hand it in? Okay. So here you can change that and click save. And you can do this for many at a time. That is, select several things and edit the dates for all of them at once. All right. So we saw how to hide activities, how to edit the dates. Now, how do I add something else? Maybe I want to share a PowerPoint, or maybe I want to share a YouTube video that I found that I want my students to see. So in order to add other resources, we're going to click on Add, Create, and we can create a folder or directly add an activity. So what types of activities can we add? We can add documents from a Google Drive, okay, like an Excel sheet, like a PDF, like a PowerPoint. What I do is I'm going to connect it with my Google Drive. So if you have a Gmail account, you're going to link that. Let me show you. Click on Google Drive, and it'll ask you to sign in with your Gmail. Once that's done, then you can upload whatever you want from your Gmail. Now, it doesn't mean you're giving your students access to your Google Drive. You're not. You're going to choose what documents you want your students to see. Okay? So don't worry about that. What else can we add or create? So we can add documents from Google Drive. We can add flashcards. The ones that I mentioned are on the right. You can add them within the learning path. You can also add an RSS feed, maybe from a newspaper or a magazine that you want your students to read. You can add a YouTube video. You can add another homework or assignment, a link to an external site, something that is non-Mindtap, maybe something you do outside of Mindtap, something you do in the classroom and you want to register here as well. Or you can also link to your OneDrive. So if you want to share a document, you can link it either to Google Drive or to OneDrive. So if you need to change the syllabus, you can download it so you have it, change document, save it in your PC, and then upload it either through your Google Drive or through your OneDrive. I can help you out with that as well if you need any help. Okay. All right. Now, moving on with the online conversations. Every chapter contains an online conversation. And like I said, some chapters have several available. Maybe you don't want to do them all. Maybe you want to do just a few of them. How do you change that? How do you decide which ones? How do you hide the ones that you don't want to do? That's fairly simple. In order to change the online conversations, which as you can see do count towards grade, so at least you might want to do one per chapter, is you're going to do the following. You're going to go to this icon, this app called Applia that is at the right. This is the little face that is underneath the flashcards. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to make it bigger so it's easier to see. Okay, you have the option to make this window bigger. And here there are. These are the assignments for every single chapter. You can see that the chapter 1 has, they're here, online conversations, I'm sorry. So online conversations for each chapter, 1 through 7. So if you click on 1, you can see which ones are available. And here is where you can edit. You can delete the ones you don't want to do. Okay. I'm not going to delete anything because it's not my account right now, but this is where you do it. You can delete it and save. This will allow you to have a more personalized experience. So maybe you don't want to do the syllabus review conversation, you can delete that. This will directly impact the learning path. You don't have to do anything else. Just delete it from the Applia app on the right.
I have a question.
Yep.
If we delete an assignment or one of those in Applia, we already have a point spread in there, 1 point for each one. How do we go in to reassign the points?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hang on. I'm going to do it in my account so I don't impact this instructor. So I can show you. Give me 1 second. So I change account. No, Philip, I'm changing. I'm not making any changes to yours. Don't worry about it. No, I was. Your account was open because we were looking at your login, but it's not yours. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm in the master course. So in the master course, no students will be enrolled. So nothing will happen. All right. So let's say, for example, I want to delete this one.
Okay, your screen is not being shared though. We can't see that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There it is. So let's say I want to delete the syllabus review, right? That. Are you sure you want to delete? Okay. There it is. So now it's over 100 in reality. All of these assignments are set to 100 points. That is because these are open-ended questions. So at the end, you're going to assign the final grade over 100, regardless of the points that each question is worth. This was decided so you don't need to worry about if it's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. In the end, you're going to assign the final grade for the online conversations as one full assignment.
Okay, so we're not posting individual grades for each of those assignments then. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. You're going to post a grade for the entire online conversations one, not necessarily per question.
Per chapter?
Per chapter, one per chapter.
Okay.
Okay.
So those 1 points really doesn't make sense then?
No, it doesn't really impact. No, the important one is the final one.
Fair enough.
Okay, excellent. So how are we going to exactly do that? How are we going to assign the grades? I'm going to show you with a course that does have students. So you can have an idea of what it's going to look like and what you can expect. This is, I'm going to show you with the summer one. There was a summer class test. Okay, it's loading now. All right. So in this case, what you're going to see as students start progressing and as they start answering activities or not, you're going to be seeing these red or green dots. These are going to show the average of the students grades. So if you want to see the detail and actually go in and see what they've been doing, you're going to have to open the gradebook, the complete gradebook, and on this blue button at the bottom. So in this gradebook, we have several different types of analytics. So here at home is where you're going to be able to see for each of the assignments, the type of assignment. For example, you can be able to see which ones are manually graded, like the online conversations they will be manually graded. You can also see which ones are automatically graded. And here you're going to be able to extend due dates as well for your students. If it's manually graded, then you can go in. Nobody submitted nothing for this one. Let me open one with submissions. Let's see this one. Okay, here. So this activity, which is manually graded, I have the option here to grade the assignment. I go there. I'm going to be able to see the student's response. And according to their response, then I'll be able to edit the score. So this is what she answered. This is her answer. I can edit the score and give her a 0.5 or whatever this person deserves. And save. And that's how you grade something that is manual. Like the online conversations, this is the way they'll be graded. So this is what you can see at home. This is an overview of how many assignments need manual grading. In this case, there were many. You won't have that issue, don't worry. There are not going to be that many. Then on the second tab, the Analytics tab, this is going to show the student's engagement. So each of these dots represents a student. And depending on how much time they've spent inside the course, how many times they've logged in, how many times they've opened the book, how many assignments they've actually answered, the students will be classified as low engagement, moderate engagement, or high engagement. And you can see how that correlates with their score. Typically, a student that is more engaged will have higher scores than students that are less engaged. You can also see the class average, the average time in the course, the number of times they log in, the amount of activities they've accessed. The next tab, called Gradebook, is going to give you the entire overview for all the assignments. Engagement represents not only time, but also the frequency with which they log in. And yes, also whether or not they're answering activities and assignments, whether or not they're actually opening the ebook. So it's really a combination of 12 factors that involves both time, frequency, and the types of things they're doing when they're in the platform. So in the Gradebook tab, this is where you're going to be able to find one column per each assignment. And this is something that you can actually download to an Excel sheet. So you might want to work with an Excel sheet and then use it for your report cards. So this can be done by clicking on Gradebook Actions and exporting to an Excel sheet. So this overview is also easy to use if you want to grade directly. So for example, I know that Stephanie is pending grading for this assignment, for the scavenger hunt. This is manually graded because it's something done outside of Mindtap. Click there directly and edit the score also directly here. Okay. All right. The settings, these were set by Dr. Curtis. This represents their final grade and how it's calculated. So the final grade will be calculated, and this is in the syllabus, I think so. It should be. The 10% is participation and attendance. 25 is assignments, which are the online conversations. The journals are 15%. These are done outside of Mindtap. Quizzes, there's one per chapter. Those are 20%. And projects is the enrichment seminar attendance. And you have your roster as well. You can see their average per student. You can email them directly or several at once. You can compose email for several students or one at a time. You can edit their ID or drop them in case someone drops the class. Okay. Any questions up to here?
I'm good so far.
Okay. All right. So I know it's a lot of information and that's a lot to process. So now you have your login information. The next thing you'd want to do is, after we're done with this training, to log in and to start exploring and start personalizing. And I'm sure questions will come up. So you can contact me then. But before we're through, I want to show you how students enroll. Okay, that's the last thing. That's the last thing I want to see with you today. This is, I'm also going to share with you a document with the instructions for the students. You can send them in an email or maybe project them at the front. But what students have to do is fairly simple. And they're also going to go to login.stayengaged.com, same as you, to the same site you see here. But they have to create an account because they don't have one already. They're going to create their own account. So they have to go to the bottom where it says create an account, student. There. And it's going to ask them for an important piece of information here. This is called a course key. The course key, I'm going to share with you in an email. I'm going to share a big table with everybody's course keys on them. And this is I think it's 14 numbers and letters that is specific to your section. So students need that that key. They're going to type it in here, and it's a key similar to what you see on the screen. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, sorry. So it's 12 digits, both letters and numbers. You're going to type it in there. All your students in the same section will have the same course key. They type it there. They click register. The key is valid for the semester. Yes, that's right. And they have two options. They can either log in or create an account. Now, most likely, nobody has a Cengage account, so they're going to have to create one. So they'll click here, create an account. Fill in the information, first name, last name, email. They'll create their own password. First year, a question to security question for the password, and click create account. So let me do that just as an example. That's not true, but it doesn't matter. Just for the sake of, you have to check the box that says I have read and agreed to the terms. This other box is optional. Create your account. Okay. And see, they're gonna have a 14-day trial. So they have those 2 weeks free. They can start working. They can start work on the course, everything normal, so that they have time to purchase the product. Okay, in those 2 weeks, they have time to purchase a product. And once that's done, once they purchase it, they're gonna insert the code that they give them when they purchase it. I think, I'm not really sure, and this is something I need to check with Dr. Curtis, whether they're gonna purchase it in a website, online, or they're gonna purchase it in the bookstore. In
I think it's at the bookstore.
Yeah, most likely. So just make sure we can make sure of that with Dr. Curtis. And regardless, your students can enroll since day one because they're going to have those 2 free weeks. All right. Hey, any questions up to here? All right. So my homework is to give you guys your course key. I'm going to send you this video. So everything in one email. So I'm going to send you this video. I'm going to send you your course key. I'm also going to send you additional videos and additional tutorials and manuals that you can use. Also, if you have more than one section, then your homework is to let me know what your sections are so I can create them. And of course, I am going to share my information with you. Hang on. So you have my email, and you can contact me anytime. Here, my email is lucia.romo@cengage.com. Here, so you can see. Okay. So this is for instructors. Now, what happens if a student has an issue, a technical issue with the platform? Where do they go? Okay, what they can do is they can write to our tech support team, which is, even though the email is in Spanish, don't worry, they know English and Portuguese, so they can write their emails in English, no problem. So the email is soporte.latam@engage.com. You can also contact the US team, but since the US is a much larger, community, it's typically a lot faster, the response we have in Latin America. So you don't need to worry, they can write their emails in English. That's fine. So for instructors, you can contact me directly. Students can contact the support team at soporte.latam@cengage.com. All right. Hey, so I'll be expecting, I don't remember who said had more than one section. So if you can just let me know what those sections are so I can create them. And throughout the day, you'll be receiving an email from me with all the information. All right. Okay, excellent. Yeah, I got that. Thank you. Thank you, Deidre.
Okay.
All right, so that'll be all. Hope you all have a great day and, well, a great semester as well. It was nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys.